Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Writes, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. And if you are looking to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today we are doing Chapter 102 of The Captain's Heart. Gralgiran heard the readiness of his hunter in the shifting suit material as they prepared for whatever happened next. The offensive array had them well covered, so any act of aggression would have consequences. They would act if he ordered it, or if the situation forced them, but he was not here for violence, and he had the sense this wasn't a response to them specifically, but to any intrusion. The Earther had found refuge in this wreck, had kept himself isolated from everyone. It spoke of someone living with fear, but with that in mind, the array now felt more like a reasonable precaution. The array felt more like a reasonable precaution than the act of someone aiming to destroy anything he saw. The heads-up still said the atmosphere was breathable, so he carefully raised his hand to grab his helmet, unlock it, and remove it. When he spoke, he did so in Earther. I am Gralgiran Selarhavnir, heart to Jeremy Bradshaw. If it is easier for you, you can use Growler as my name. It is what Earthers have named me. The silence stretched. Yeah, well, who sent you? You gave the spreading branch the coordinates where I'd find you. They gave them to me. Fuck! They got them too. No, they are still hidden. The snort distorted the audio. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, sure. I'm going to believe you. Was given a human name, cat. Interview A was given a human name, cat. How about I let you leave and you tell your human overlords not to bother me? Earthers. Humans! We're fucking called humans. You'd think that after they took over, they could at least have broken you of that fucking bad habit. No one has conquered anyone. A door on the other side. The message was from Zorfiel. My pack can rush it. 3 are certain to make it. We can find and take the Earther down. Oh, sure, that's exactly what they'd tell you to say. Not today. He wouldn't send anyone to their death unless it was the only option. I'm here for Jeremy, my heart. I'm here because after months of work, just thinking about me sends him into paranoid panic. I'm here because you've hinted to Tommy, the Earth human, that you had information on the technology that hurt him. Please, I need your help. I'm on the same ship as him, and it feels like we're on different planets. I need to have him back in my life. The silence stretched so long, Gralgiran closed his eyes. If you intended for me and Jer to happen, if you aren't just messing with us, now would be a good time to meddle, just Billiam. Imploring was probably a bad idea, but she'd started this. Not just when she brought the two of them together, but all the way at the start when she separated the hearts. Movement came a second before the hand grabbed the end of the door at the back and pulled, moving the door into the wall. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. The Earther who stepped out was male, fit. Wearing overalls that had seen better days, he held a gun but pointed it at the floor. His hair and beard were black mixed with gray. He read wariness off him, but that was it. He couldn't trust that the cues he'd learned to interpret from Jeremy carried across his entire species. Older, graying in the fur indicates that in male Earthers. The weapon isn't part of any file we have on their combat capabilities. I can't give you a threat assessment on him other than he is already pointing too many weapons at us. Gralgiran nodded to the array. If the male had stepped out of hiding, it had to be a sign of progress. Oh, right. Sorry about that. He took a remote from a pocket, then the array was back in the ceiling. He raised the gun. But before you get any idea, I'm a very good shot. So you all stay where you are. Good. Now, uh, now, how about you all take off those helmets so I can be sure he isn't your hunt. Oh, I see. So I can be sure he isn't your hunting cat. Trust me, you can't put anything past the human military anymore. But if you click a flick of ears, Gralgiran instructed his hunters to comply. Not exactly smart of a lot of you to show up here without weapons. I didn't come seeking a confrontation, only your help. How may I address you? He seemed surprised by the question, then unsure. Bob, he finally said. My name's Bob. Another far too short name, and he couldn't address him while adding to it to feel more at ease. I am. He broke into a fit of painful sounding coughing. How the fuck do you people manage to say that? Differently built voice box, he answered. It's why the Earth humans on Einstein Station called me Growler. To your ears, our speech sounds like the growling of animals. Our speech is like the growling of animals. Oh, it's way more than that, which makes them think of you as animal. The Earther straightened. You said Jeremy's getting better? Haven't you been following the spreading branch broadcast about him? Propaganda is propaganda, even when it comes from the side you want to win. So I don't exactly trust everything they say. Yes, he's improving, but we don't know if he can overcome what's been done to him. If you're hoping I'll tell you how he can heal from that, fuck if I know. It's not like I know if I've gotten over it myself. You were tortured like he was? Oh, they didn't call it that. Didn't call it anything, but I was a good little soldier. It's not like I asked what the machine did when they told me to sit in it. Wasn't the first time I'd had to do stuff like that. Didn't think it'd be the last. What? Oh, no, you don't. The gun was up again. I'm not telling you anything. Your overlord can go fuck themselves. Not entirely sane. Or not entirely in control of his mind. In a similar way that sometime the programming that had been put in Jeremy's mind took over. How did you end up here? He asked, aiming to defuse the situation. We didn't know there was a ship here. You and everyone else. When the fighting started, I ducked. That's how I ended up here. You were attacked? We attacked them. Well, the others went to war. I couldn't make sense of anything. So I put my head between my legs and pretty much kissed my ass goodbye. Was surprised as fuck to still be alive when the quiet returned. We tried to maneuver the ship, but I know sensors. Lenny was a cook. Isabel a mechanic, and Fred could make you laugh like no one else could, but she couldn't pilot this thing either. There are others here? He narrowed his eyes. What's your interest in them? He frowned at the gun at the gun he pointed at him, but didn't lower it. Do they need help? He snorted. They're way beyond help. The crash wasn't particularly fast, but this piece of shit had momentum. Fred got stuck behind bending beams, and we couldn't pull her out. I fucking wasn't going to stay there and watch her get crushed. Lenny blew his brain out a year into us being here. Isabel, no idea where she went, only that she's not on this wreck anymore. Do you need help? Nah, I'm good. I get good reception out here, especially with the band compressor and whatever else Isa left me before she went away. Can you help Jeremy? I don't know. Can you try? This is where they did it to you. Did the machine survive the crash? Better question you should ask if it survived Lenny. He was not a fan of it, considering what it put us through. He destroyed it, I'd hope. Yeah, took a plasma cutter, plasma, as plasma. That's gonna be flipped. As a plasma cutter to the thing and didn't stop until it was slag. Fortunately for you, it's not like there was only one of those cursed things. Come on. He raised the gun. Just him. Don't the rest of you get any funny idea? You stay, he told his hunter. Alpha? Zorfiel said in Earther. I have to protest. We don't know what or who else is here. I trust him. In air code, he said. Deactivate weapons. So you rest. I doubt we'll be long. She still wasn't happy, but nodded. He followed the Earther through more cramped corridors, the air growing more stale as they moved away from the room. Before he grew worried, the indicator was still blue, the Earther shouldered the door open. This is where they did it to me. Lenny's was in a different medical bay. I don't know why I didn't tell him about this one. No, I didn't. I know. Didn't trust him. Didn't trust the bastard. For all I knew, he was a plant, so I wasn't telling him anything. Narrowed his eyes. You're not here because they sent you, are you? I'm only here because of Jeremy. The machines were spread over the floor. They resembled what Jeremy had been in, only in that they were attached to seats. 5 of them, although he had no way to know if the damage they'd endured made them useless to him. The Earther relaxed. He's lucky, he whispered. He found someone. Unless you've given up the hunt, you can find your heart too. I know where my heart is, he snapped. He tapped his chest. It's right where it belongs. Gralgiran kept himself from explaining. Unless the Earther had studied Kelsirian history, he wouldn't know what he meant. Can I write one? Hey, it's your mind you're putting at risk touching those things. But if you're considering sitting in one, tell me and I'll kill you first. It's a lot less painful than going through that. He chose the least damaged one, then looked it over, trying to make sense of what he saw, but it would be for his experts to disassemble and tell him how it worked and how they could help Jeremy. But he needed to arrange it so they could come here and take it. With the way the Earther's mind wavered, he might shoot them even after agreeing to let them study it. His ears folded back, just from contemplating his idea. Okay, his ears folded back just from contemplating the name. So short a name. He steeled himself and faced the Earther. Tell me, Bob, how would you feel about getting off this wreck? And that concludes chapter 102 of The Captain's Heart. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next chapter will be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read this story, it is up on Ream Story. And if you are looking to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. Links are in the notes, and with that, I shall wish you a good day.